Blog Talk Radio.
Always look up, never give up, and you will reach your goals. You're important, you're more than enough. And here she is, your host for Rolling with the Diva, Sabrina Williams. Thank you.
Hey, sorry about the late start. It's Sabrina, and it's about 80 degrees right now in Las Vegas. I'm at my gym getting ready to go in. Oh, my gosh, it was a great, wonderful day. Even though I had a little bit of ups and downs, it was still great because you know what? I started my day with God. I went to church. I had my evening Bible study. In between, there were a lot of things, and we're going to talk about them because today's show is, can you get along with your ex for the sake of the children? I say yes, you can, because I have children now that are 21 and 19. Today, my ex-husband is over visiting with the kids at the house. Yes, the house. I mean, from the things that have happened to us over the period of time for the last 4 years since we've been divorced, from mental health issues on his side, my side, changing my eating habits, things like that. I'm more in touch with my mental health and, you know, just realizing God has a plan. And I have forgiven everything that has happened in my marriage and forgiven him and just ask God to let me be the person that can be there for my kids and even to be nice to him, because at the end of the day, God got on a cross for me to save me from my sins, to give me a place in heaven, and to keep me from being in a dark place with Satan. So I'm really appreciative of that. Like when he comes over to visit, I'm like, cool, how are you? I made some dinner, here you go. And I used to not be able to do that for the first couple of years. But now I'm like, whatever. And first couple of years he didn't see the kids for the first year because there's a lot of things going on with his mental health that he needs to correct. Did he correct them? No, but is he better mentally? Yes. So we're cool with that, and we just ask him to keep checking with himself. But one of the things is, like, I made ham and all his favorite food, and the kids are there. You know, I went out to eat with him. But you know what? I have my own life. I have somebody I really am starting to really, really love a lot. And I don't need that, but my kids need their dad. Just like we all need our Father in heaven, our earthly child needs their father and their mother, whether you're separated or divorced, because it's important for them, and we need to remember that. You know, it's not always about us. It's about our kids. It's about the relationship with God, and it's about, hey, you know what? What's best for us is sometimes what's best for other people, and that is put aside your disgruntled, your heat, everything. I put aside all that. Even yes, there was a time I hated them, but my kids are the ones. Even before, you know, some of them, even before my sons were of age of 18, 19, 20, 21. But now, as I slowly start to realize it's for them, they need that figure. And as African Americans, no, their dad's not African American, but it doesn't matter whether your kids are African Americans, Hispanic, all kids need their fathers. They need to know that their real earthly dads can be there for them and that they can be loved by both parents no matter what's going on, because at the end of the day, they didn't choose to be divorced. We did. And it was for our own reasons, and I believe it's for the better. You know, yes, God doesn't like divorce, but you know what? I can still go on and be redeemed. I just love that. I love how God gives us life, and we can choose to embrace it fully, or we can choose to have parts like, oh, I'm not going to forgive him, and if he doesn't give child support, or if he doesn't do this. There's been times where my ex, because of his jobs, or because of this, or because of his own issues, he didn't work, or things didn't go the way he wanted, that he didn't have jobs. So there's certain jobs he wouldn't take. And instead of holding a debt of child support over his head, or going to the county or anything else to get my money, I just said, your debt's forgiven. You know what? And I've done that 2 or 3 times, because you know what? The relationship he has with his kids is nothing to do with the money. God's going to provide for me to provide for those kids. Now he's back on track. He's really working hard to make sure that he gets those child support payments in there. And also, he's being nice, like, hey, I want to make sure I give you back that money, even though I'm not asking for it. So God is doing great things. When we step aside from ourselves and allow God to work, great things can work. And if you don't believe in God and you believe in a higher power or you're atheist, when you still step aside from yourself and allow your atheist, whether you're atheist or you have a higher power to work, it will. Because when you just put the heart of somebody, put your heart into what you want to see happen for somebody else, you're having the heart of love, and that's the most important thing. An atheist still has to have love, and you have to love people too. So you can't tell me that when you put somebody else ahead of yourself, like joy, Jesus, others, and yourself, or just joy. Use that word. You're doing a great thing, and that's what I've learned about being a parent. So is the answer, can you get along with your ex for the sake of the kids? For me, yes. And your answer for your kid should be yes, but I'm not you. Sometimes, though, let's get that straight. You may be in a situation where kids are going through sexual abuse, domestic violence. There's other things going on, and it's not okay. And those kids need supervision. That's okay. And it could be on the dad or the mom, but you have to protect your children. You have to do what's right for them. But don't be protecting, say, I'm protecting my kids because they're a bad dad and because you're not getting what you want in child support. That has nothing to do with it. Your child shouldn't suffer. And there are dads and moms who don't pay child support. They don't want to have anything to do with the child. At that point, you don't tell a child, oh, your dad or mom hates you. You just say they're not in a place with God or their higher power where they can love themselves enough to love you, because I believe that's part of it. They have to love themselves enough to love other people. And that's just my interpretation. And if some of you guys have a different interpretation, please let me know, and I'll bring it on the air, and we can revisit this situation. So I'm just saying, hey, life is amazing. Forgive, love unconditionally, and allow God to be in your heart. I am very blessed. I'm not proud of myself because this wasn't my attitude of, I'm just going to accept my ex-husband for all the things that he did. No, this is God. This is not Sabrina. This is Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans I have for you to give you a hope and a future and a prosperity. That's God. That's his doing, and saying, you know what, Sabrina, you follow me, and I'm so glad that I was able to listen to God for the sake of my children. Because to tell you what, to see the joy on their face and to see them, even today, I put aside, because my kids, they get excited to see their dad. I'm like the bad guy, and my ex-husband, Arthur, is like the good guy. But it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, it's all about the kids. I can't get it mad because they get really excited to see him. I'm glad for them, because at the end of the day, as they grow and grow, they'll need that manly advice, and I'm glad for them. I really, truly am. Lord Jesus, I thank you for this message. It's a short message, but just a message of hope, of encouragement, and the ability to know that we can get along with other people. But we have to keep our kids safe, so there may be circumstances that I don't know about that's outside of from you being with your ex or them being around certain parents that they may not be, because moms can be abusers, dad can be abusers, and there could be certain things going on, or they can't be around a grandparent, things like that. I get that. But, Lord, you know those circumstances. But the circumstances that you can bring those two parents together to work together for those children, allow them to, even if they get young adults, because young adults are still influenced by what we do as parents, and we need to remember that. Our kids really are influenced by what we as parents do. So, Lord, I thank you for everybody listening. I remind everybody that 211 in the United States can give you referrals for food, for housing, for counseling on scaling free or non-compensatory, for food banks, for other things, for shelters, for if you're domestic violence. There's more domestic violence shelters for women than men. For a homeless person that may be trying to get home or want to make a phone call, 211 in the United States is really great for that. If you know somebody who's struggling and may need just a phone call to encourage them, do that. Put yourself in somebody else's shoes and remember how you would want to be treated. We are here to fellowship and love one another, and I challenge you guys, just like our pastor challenged us to read our Bible and to be more as God. I challenge you guys to go out in the world and make this world a better place by just doing one thing for somebody, even if you smile at them, even if you bring a cup of water to somebody or a bottle of water and a sandwich. You are doing the work of God, and you are living the community to help others. Have a great week. Thank you for tuning in to Rolling with the Diva, and may your day and the rest of your week, your evening, and the rest of the day be blessed. We'll see you on Tuesday, June 11th, with Rolling with the Diva, with a lot more about talking about helping millennials see why they sometimes need to put down the computer. So I'm just really glad, the phone, that God has brought you here. And love you, and have an amazing day.